Hello, welcome back to Mindful Manifestors. My name is Alex and I am here to demystify the process of manifestation, but I also do healing work and energy work to help in the ease of that manifestation process. And with the new moon in Gemini coming on June 2nd, I wanted to take the opportunity to connect with the new moon to help in easing the flow of energy for our manifestations and just for our lives. New moons are typically this time when the sky goes completely dark, right? Like we don't see the moon. And it really creates this time of space and breath. It really gives us a moment to see and perceive things without the weight of the shadow. Because the moon represents our unconscious, our emotions, and things that kind of rest beneath the surface, this really becomes a time where we can see beyond that. It's really a time of clarity and allowing the energy to flow with ease. And so in this sense, the new moon becomes an opportunity to connect more deeply with our desired future self by giving us the space to breathe and do so. So it becomes this increased time of curiosity, of receivership of information and messages that want to come through, and it allows us to receive them more easily without the constraints of our subconscious and limiting beliefs. Now, with this new moon being in Gemini, the emphasis becomes more pronounced in receiving information and being the messenger with ourselves and other people. And with the air and social element of Gemini, the darkness and the voided space of this new moon allows us to access an increased amount of information and insights on various aspects of our lives. But mostly it'll be focusing, if you're looking at the chakra system, we'll be looking more deeply into the throat chakra, maybe a little bit of the heart and the root to kind of keep us grounded. It gives us the knowledge we need to kind of take action required for what we're trying to manifest or what we're trying to create, which can be a really powerful energy to tap into if we do so purposefully and intentionally. But because of the speed at which Gemini energy moves, it can make us feel restless, like we're not moving fast enough, but also it can make us feel intellectually like we're receiving a lot of information that we can't process at the speed that we're receiving it. So it can become very overwhelming and heavy and daunting. Because Gemini rules communication, in a lot of ways, it's kind of represented as this cross-pollinator. So picture like a bee with flowers and how they kind of fly around and they're pollinating the flowers. But not all of the information is necessarily meant for us. So some of it is meant to be communicated through us and to be shared with others. And so it becomes really important with this to really become aware of moving and communicating, but in a way that allows us to stay grounded and connected in our power. So what I mean by this is that a lot of the time when we're running around constantly, we become really ungrounded and we end up actually giving our power away and our energy without realizing it. And when you add this element of intense amount of information that's kind of coming through and ideas and insights, adding to that restlessness that we already feel, it becomes really important to understand how to intentionally use this energy during this new moon. Because we can find ourselves more in our power, more connected to the people around us, more social and insightful in our lives and of other people. But we can also find ourselves extremely anxious and restless and exhausted if we're not intentional about how we move with this energy. So it becomes important to give ourselves the space to be aware of what insights are coming through, either through writing or meditation, for example, to give us the ability to sift through what's actually ours and what is meant to be shared with others. It'll allow us to be more grounded in our endeavors through this kind of restless, moving, quick energy. And with this, then we become more able to communicate and connect with more ease and simplicity with ourselves and others, and using the energy of this new moon in the best way possible. So this meditation will help to ease that flow of energy through the chakras. Mainly we'll be working with the root, the heart, and the throat chakra. And for this meditation, I'll ask you to have a pen and paper handy or something that you can write with, because as we work through the opening of these chakras, to allow the mass amount of energy and information that will be flowing through, it'll be really helpful to write down what does come through, what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're sensing, so that you can really let it go in that moment to allow whatever else wants to come through. It'll not only help in the energy flow through the body, but it will also assist in getting out of our heads, given the amount that might come through with this new moon. So if you don't have anything to write with, I invite you to pause this meditation momentarily and just go grab it and come back. And as you're grabbing this pen and paper and you're preparing yourself for this meditation, I invite you to also just kind of invite your future self in here, in your environment, into your meditation space, just inviting what you're trying to manifest in your current present reality into the room, getting a little bit more clear on that and just putting it out there. What is it that you're trying to manifest right now? What is it that you are wanting to create? What does your future self look like? What do you want to feel in your future? And just invite this into your moment right now. And this will help kind of give you a little bit more clarity and give you a little bit more intention as you enter the space of this meditation. It'll keep the messages that come through a little bit more focused, a little bit more intentional and purposeful. So once you've grabbed your pen and paper, just getting yourself comfortable in a chair or laying down, I invite you to get as comfortable as possible, maybe not to the point of falling asleep, but enough for your body to be able to relax and kind of let go. I like to grab some pillows and a blanket to wrap around my legs for a little extra coziness, maybe some water to keep you hydrated as well. So we're going to shift now into receiver mode. We were just kind of thinking about what we wanted to create, what we're trying to manifest. Now we are going to move into receiving mode, receiving of this Reiki-infused meditation, of Reiki energy, receiving mode, open into any insights or messages that would like to come through during this meditation. I ask that they come through clearly. I ask that they come through meaningfully and purposefully. And we'll just start by relaxing and connecting with our body. So we're just going to start by taking a few deep breaths to reconnect with ourselves. So taking a deep breath in through your nose, and you're going to hold it at the top for a few seconds. Feel that energy moving up your spine from the bottom of your body, up through to the top of your head, and out through your mouth. Slowly feel yourself settling back into your body, into your being. And again, we're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it at the top. Feel again that rush of energy moving up your body, up through to the top of your head, and out through your mouth. Fully decompressing, allowing your muscles to relax and let go of any tension. Feeling your body releasing any kinds of expectations for today or anything to come. Moving into that receiving mode and allowing mode, a full surrender of your body, and really coming into that state of receiving and just breathing and relaxing and reconnecting into the depths of yourself. And one last time, we're going to take in a deep breath in through your nose. Hold at the top, feeling that flow of energy through your body to the top of your head. And release through your mouth. Feel that release through your muscles, your bones, your organs, your body. Feeling yourself reconnect to your body with ease. Your breath falling back to its natural rhythm. Coming back to yourself, your heart, your body, and your soul. Your breath returning to its natural rhythm. And just soaking this up for a minute. The ease, the stillness, the peacefulness, and the quiet. Embodying it, that receivership, ready to receive any energy needed, any messages needed, any insights needed. Moving into that openness. And taking a moment of gratitude for taking this moment for yourself. This moment of self-care, of self-love. And breathing in and out. Reconnecting to your body. Beautiful. So we're going to work through some of our chakras today. Like I mentioned, we're going to work on opening and activating our root, our heart, and our throat chakra. Really try and open and activate them to allow the ease of information and energy to flow through each of these centers, so that we can work with this new moon in Gemini energy more easily and use it more purposefully. And as we work through these, I'm going to ask you to cup your hands together, one on top of the other, and you place them on each center as we work through these and as the Reiki comes through, and just to intentionally place your energy there. This will allow the energy to flow more easily. And as this happens, you might hear, you might feel, see, or sense images, messages, or insights. And as these come through, I want you to write these down. And as you do, you might find yourself receiving more information, more guidance, more depth. And just write down whatever element comes to you. It may start a new message, or it might be a continuation of something you already wrote down. That's okay. Just let it flow and write it as it comes. You might feel emotions kind of building up and coming through. That's okay. Allow them to come through. Centering yourself in your body. Okay, so we're going to start at our root chakra here, which is located just below your hips, kind of in the groin area. It can be represented by the legs and the feet included in that as well, but I'm just going to ask you to cup both of your hands around just under the center of your hips. And just place your attention, your intention here. Visualize and feel roots growing at the bottom of your feet and your legs, grounding you into the earth's core. The root chakra really represents our sense of stability, our sense of grounding in this physical kind of realm, in this physical reality. It also represents our sense of safety and security in walking around the world. our sense of grounding. A lot of time when we're deeply connected spiritually, we can have a hard time kind of bringing this energy back down into our physical reality, which can create these blocks in our manifestation and anything we're trying to create in our physical lives. And as we open the flow of energy in our root, it can help us kind of keep our energy grounded in a way that feels safe for us to walk and travel the world as spiritual beings. It can help us feel secure to be ourselves and supported in our endeavors. And specifically with the energy of this new moon, it's going to help us kind of stay grounded in our power, in our energy, so that we can slow down even when we feel that restless energy. So that we can stay grounded even when we feel the need to move fast. It doesn't mean that we don't move. It doesn't mean we don't take action. We're just more intentional about how we use that energy. And that is extremely powerful. So we're just going to work on our root here for a moment. See that bright, white, golden light coming through that center energy. You might picture the chakra as a ball. And as that bright golden light comes through, this Reiki energy comes through. Visualize that center, that energetic center, as a flower. So you're going to start as the bulb of the flower. Right? It's not quite grown yet, but as the light comes through, the flower opens and it expands. And visualize that and feel that energy located in the center of your hips, just below there. As your roots grow deeper into the earth and you get this sense of safety and stability within yourself. Breathing as the energy flows here. That grounding stability, safety and security. Expanding that energy while also staying grounded. Just taking a moment here. And as the energy flows through here, as you see this bright white light, this golden light coming through this energy center, if there's anything that comes through, write it down. Any kind of feeling, any kind of visualization that you get, any sensations. What do you see in that ball of light? Just write anything down here. Now you might start to feel the energy building up in your heart chakra, knowing that we're going to go there after this. Just take a moment here to stay in your root. Find that beautiful sense of grounding and safety in those roots, keeping you secure to the ground in this physical reality. And breathing through it, writing anything that comes up. Okay, now we're going to move on to our heart chakra. So this is located in the center of your chest. Here we find our ability to have empathy and compassion, not just for others, but also ourselves. So this is often where we find self-acceptance for who we are, where we are on our journey, and we may find some pains and hurtful memories that are stored here. If any do come up at this point, please do feel free to write them down. Maybe the times that we were not kind to ourselves. The heart allows us to have empathy for ourselves. So it allows us to be kinder to others, but also ourselves. We can't pour from an empty cup, and the center reminds us to fill ourselves back up first. It allows us to stay connected to ourselves and to really love and accept who we are. And this will help in the flow of energy for this new moon as we connect with that throat center to really allow our communication and the flow of this energy to be connected in who we are and accepting of who we are and accepting of where we are and loving ourselves, and not just kind of spilling things out just because they come to us, really focusing in on that grounding of the root chakra and moving it up into the heart center. You might feel like a tightness, just cupping your hands around this center here. You might feel a little bit of a tightness in this energy. You might gasp your breath for a minute as this energy moves through this center, and that's okay. We're going to send some bright white light through here. And if there's blockages in there, that's okay. We can see the light moving through the nooks and the crannies and just slowly kind of opening that center up. And if you have some pent-up stuff in here, you might suddenly feel like you need to cry and you're not really sure why. That's okay. That's just energy moving through you here. But this is really about being intentional about how we're letting the energy move through us today, and really how we're intentionally expanding our energy. Again, you can picture this flower budding and growing into a flower as the energy moves through you here with that bright golden light. And again, feel free to write down any feelings or visualizations that come through. This might feel really intense. That's okay. There's likely some heart openings at this time, especially when we're looking in this spiritual community. It can be hard to speak our truth. It can be hard to stay true to ourselves. It can be hard to accept our path. And so it becomes, this energy is kind of helping us step into that. Come to the acceptance of who we are and where we are and what journey we're taking, right? And feeling that kind of acceptance and love move through your heart. That bright white light. You may have actually never experienced this kind of light coming through your heart before, especially if you've had hard experiences in your past. People trying to control what you do, control your path, control where you put your energy. Just allow that bright white light to come through and expand your energy like a flower. Breathing through that expansion. Really beautiful. I'm just going to stay here for a moment. Feel that chakra balancing and activating in your heart. That golden white light coming through. Breathing through the tension. Okay. Now we're going to move up to our throat chakra. This is located in the center of your throat. This is the center that represents our expression and our ability to communicate, but also finding out our own truth. And this is probably the one that will be the most activated here, or be asking to be activated with this new moon as we work through these higher levels of communication and receivership of information. So here I'm just going to ask you to cup both of your hands in the center of your throat. Feel that white golden light coming through the center of your throat and breathing through this. Now I know at this point you might actually feel a ball physically in your throat as the energy kind of works through here. That's okay. Allow that white golden light to come through as it clears and cleanses this energy. It's likely that there's a block in communication or an ability to express yourself in a clear way. And this new moon in Gemini, it's really trying to work through this center to communicate, to give you the ability to communicate more than you typically would. So it might feel a little bit more intense, like it's trying to open up a little bit more. Or on the other hand, it could feel like fear, and it could feel like it's trying to constrict. Just allow that white golden light to come through. And again, we're going to picture that flower, that bulb, and that flower growing and opening as the sun shines on it, right? And expanding that energy. Now pay attention to what comes through here. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Visualize that flower and that energy moving through the constriction, opening itself wide, expanding and flowing with that white golden light, connecting to your heart center and your root. How can you express yourself more clearly? What messages are you supposed to express right now? What truth do you have to speak? There may be some things that your body is trying to communicate with you or has been trying to communicate with you for some time now. As the energy kind of moves up here, be sure to write these down and allow them to come through with that golden light. And you might feel it moving into your heart as well as you expand that throat and your root, grounding you to this earth and giving you the ability to actually take action and integrating it into your being. This energy is not only trying to align you with more clarity to this new moon, but it's also trying to get you to know yourself more deeply. It wants you to have more clarity around what you want, who you are, who you're becoming, and how to align with that more easily, especially in the way that you communicate or express yourself and your truth. This is a really powerful energy here. So take a moment to embrace and allow it to flow, to cross-pollinate with your other chakras, and to move freely, expand, and to give you the guidance you need for this new moon, to walk with purpose and take action when you need to. Breathing through this. Really beautiful. Now you can place your hands on your legs or by your side. We'll take a moment here to integrate this energy as we come back down and find our roots, connected through our heart center and our throat, merging that energy down, bringing everything into our physical reality through those roots, this physical presence, integrating all we have learned, all that we have received, this beautiful Reiki-infused energy with this new moon in Gemini. Taking a deep breath here, feeling ourselves expansive and explorative, clearer, more integrated with ourselves, our truth, our self-expression. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath and opening your eyes. If you feel called to at this point, take a moment to write down anything that might be trying to come through still. Look at the notes that you took and how many things you wrote and experienced here. I invite you to really look through these notes around your throat specifically and your heart, and how you're being called to use your throat chakra specifically in relation to your heart center, and where and how it helps work with these other energetic centers during this time. I invite you to take a moment here with that energy to center and ground it. I'm so glad you joined me on this meditation today. If you have any questions or insights you'd like to share, feel free to write them in the comments. I hope you have a lovely new moon in Gemini. Get out there and move that energy, cross-pollinate, socialize, but in a grounded way that allows you to stay connected to your inner power, your inner self, and your truth. Till next time, we'll see you later.